I'm going to present to you the 100% pasture-fed dairy cow-calf dairy system. It's brought to you by those farmers called the Milchbauern. They're in the south of Germany, and the hub is co-led by Demeter and Fibel. Well, what makes them so special? They are producing in a different way. They produce their dairy milk mainly based on grass, or as much as possible grass, and they keep their calves with the mothers. So here they are 40, and what brings them together is that they market their milk together and get a premium price. They are Demeter farms, so they see their farm as a kind of an organism that interacts with nature. And this is what pulls them together, and they feel obliged to offer a very good life to their animals. And a very good life to the animals means we feed them with the feed that they're made for, which is grass, and you should keep the calves with their mothers. Well, they give this really good life to the animals on the whole life until the last day. And the last day is a very terrible day because these animals are pulled together, they're in an unsafe environment, and it's extremely stressful for the animals to go into this transport to slaughterhouse, and it's very stressful for humans too. So they feel that this is wrong. They spend so much time giving them a good life, and the last day is so bad. So what's their solution? Their solution is having on-farm slaughter. So that's, I took such a mobile slaughterhouse picture, you can see that. This is possible because there has been a change in regulation in 2021, but it is very challenging because you need to reach slaughterhouse within 2 hours. It is very expensive, you don't know where to sell. So that's what the hub is going to do, is they have some farmers doing on-farm slaughter already, so they will work with those to understand what the cost is, but they're also going to develop the whole network so that each and every farmer...
30 seconds.
Well, very good. Each and every farmer will have that option, and they will try to market that meat together, talking also to some of the bigger retailers to sell the meat, and we hope that that will help them, not just them, but also the whole sector to go for on-farm slaughter. Thanks.
Well done, Catherine. Under time, perfect. Next up, Amandine Menet. Où est Amandine? La voilà. Ready?
Yeah.
Go.
So I'm going to talk about our group with the dairy farmers and mostly grassland systems, and for carbon sequestration, but also other environmental impact. So we gather 13 dairy farmers in Western France. They have various practices, hay milk, crossbred cows, but majoritarily they are all grass systems. And they work on this. And they're interested by carbon sequestration, the management of grassland, and only grass feed. And so they have lots of interesting practices, and the challenges is the overall grassland area is decreasing in Western France, replaced by maize silage and crops. But carbon sequestration is highest in grassland, particularly permanent grassland. So it's something we have to work on it. And the objective of the Practice Hub of the Living Lab is to convince future farmers and local policy actors that it is interesting to maintain those systems and help those to develop. It is a way to reduce the impact of agriculture on the environment and also increase farmers' incomes and quality of life. We want to have a good impact on environment, but also have viable systems for farmers in economic way. So the major aim of the hub is to communicate on this. So we will collect environmental data and also economical data in the systems. We will compile them to our national database, and with this we will organize communication events, open forums dedicated to students, but also dedicated to local policymakers to exchange about this and about the benefits of those grassland systems. Sorry.
Good job, Amandine. Well done, Amandine. Well beneath time there. Okay, next up is number 3, Mignon Sandor.
Okay, thank you. And yes, so I would like to present our hub, which is dealing with dairy with agroforestry system, or in agroforestry system. So we bring together in our hub small dairy farmers which are active in a mountain and hilly area, and they actually manage complex landscape which combine grasslands, orchards, pasture, and maybe arable lands in some cases. They are facing some challenges which are related mainly with low profitability of these farms, but also limited knowledge, I would say, about the valorization of natural resources which are present in the area. So, together with my colleagues and with the farmers which are part of this hub, we try to focus on some innovative actions and to discuss some solution which are related mainly with the quality of the products, because we consider that the products which are coming from these farms are having high quality. There are also some aspects which are related with market organization and cooperation. It is difficult to manage some problem in the area, but if they work together, solution could appear. But also we are talking about the diversification of their activity, which can bring some efficiency in this kind of production. So what we want to do, and what we already did, is to highlight the importance of collaboration, and we will try to develop a living lab which is trying to
30 seconds.
Thanks. Trying to connect the quality of the forage, the high diversity of the grassland, with the quality of the products, which is milk in this case. And of course, this will be done in a special kind of cultural and social environment, because these farms are part of this special kind of environment. So that's what I want to say, and thank you.
Oh, you're ahead of me. Okay, well done, Mignon, and on to Anna Hessel.
Thank you. And I will talk about practice hub number 4, which is the 4th and last dairy hub. And this hub is from Sweden, and it's called More from Less Dairy Systems, Utilizing On-Farm Advice and Carbon Footprinting Tool. And the two partners are SLU, Swedish University of Agricultural Sciences, and the farmers are from Arla Foods. They are delivered their milk to Arla. And the farms are, this is not, yes, it's working. These farms are located in the western coast of Sweden, and they are having large herds effective production, and I would call them early adopters, which means that when there comes up new techniques or other innovations, they are early on trying them. And the Living Lab they have decided on working upon is in the area of marketing, and their system type is intensive mainstream production. And their interest is about what we have been talking on this morning, with a better connection between the consumption and the production. So if we want to produce sustainable foods, then we need to have consumers that want to buy that food. And it was also in future, so they want to focus on the next generation of consumers, which are the children. And they think that there are opinions on what sustainable livestock production is about and what it's not about. So they want to give facts on that, especially concerning environmental sustainability and animal welfare. So what they see as a challenge and the background for the Living Lab is the general public's preconceived view on environmental sustainability and welfare in livestock production of today. And then I misunderstood the question. It was talked about bureaucracy, and I thought it was within the project, but that was faulty, so I skipped that comment. The uniqueness of the Living Lab, they wanted to, at first they talked about measuring stuff on their own farms, but there was no benchmarking data to use, so we agreed on producing some kind of written material which can be used for children, especially at public events on their farms. So we have been working on that for some time, and
last words.
Yes, this is the last slide. No, this is not my. Okay. We are working on this. I think there is a slide missing.
Okay, thank you, Anna. Sorry for throwing you off at the end, but the show must go on. This is a video recording from one of the practice hubs that could not make it here today, so if our colleagues in the back could, or maybe I can do it. Here it comes. Thank you very much.
Hi everyone, so here is a presentation of the practice hub number 5. It involves innovation from a cooperative called Coperl, which is located in Brittany in France, and it concerns the management of pig slurry with frequent removal from building with separation of liquid and solid phases, and the use of the solid phase in a collective biogas unit with transformation of the digestate in commercialized fertilizers. The main innovation of these practice hubs are the presence of a circular economy, a reduction of ammonia and greenhouse gases emission, the production of renewable energy and fertilizers, no use of antibiotic and the presence of uncastrated males in the farms, and low protein feeding strategy. The main challenges in the Pathway project are 2. The first one is to find an alternative solution to the V-scraper for the frequent removal, to use more manures in biogas process with the advantages associated, and also to assess in a quantitative way the interest of the current circular economy of copper. The uniqueness of this practice hub is the implementation of a large-scale circular economy, the use of new technologies in farms and in the industrial process with the V-scraper, the biogas unit, the presence of centrifugation, osmosis and ultrafiltration, the recycling of nitrogen, water, steam and CO2, and the connection of pig production to other activities like renewable energy production and fertilizers production. For now, about 100 farms are sending their solid manure to the collective biogas unit. The result are reduction of 10% of greenhouse gases emission per pig and the production per pig of 74 kilograms of renewable energy. For the future, we plan to assess the environmental, social and economic interest of the innovation by life cycle assessment in the Pathway project, and we also plan to test of an individual solution to increase greenhouse gases emission. Thanks to the use of a robot under the fully slated floor, this robot will remove the manure from the building, and for the external part, the use of a cover for a passive anaerobic digestion. Thank you very much for listening.
Okay, so now this one is, her name is Sarah Lena, agro-child, and she's calling in online.
Hey.
Hello, Sarah Lena. The same rules apply to you. 2.5 minutes, bell, 30 seconds, off. Okay? You ready to go?
Yes.
Am I controlling the slides or are you?
I think you are.
Okay. Applies the same rule for you. So if the technical guys could put, thank you very much. Here we go. Ready?
Yes.
Hold on, I gotta get my timer.
So you can jump directly to the next slide.
Okay. Ready, go.
Yep. Perfect. So I'm going to tell you about Practice Hub 6, which is concerns Danish organic pig production. And it's a rather small hub. We have one member who is from an NGO and 3 organic pig farmers. And the farmers represent both the younger and the older generation of farmers. And you can go to the next slide. Thank you. So their interests concern animal welfare and getting the pigs more out on pasture. Currently in Denmark, we have the sows on pasture, but most of the growing pigs and slaughter pigs are kept in barns. They also would like to stop castration and get more trees included in the pig paddocks. And next slide, please. So Danish organic pig production, of course, faces several challenges. One of the major ones is the environmental impact of the production. And this is because currently pigs, they are oversupplied with protein in the diet because artificial amino acids are banned in organic production. And this results in a large nutrient leaching into the soil. And you can see here is a group of pregnant sows on pasture. And of course, you have nutrient leaching from a field like this. Next slide, please. Yeah. So some recent studies, they show that organic pregnant sows, they're able to consume large amounts of grass and can actually cover a good part of their protein requirement by consuming grass, depending, of course, on the grass quality. But despite of this knowledge, the organic pig producers, they are reluctant to include grass consumption in the feed plan because so little is known about the grass quality, and this varies across the year with respect to, for instance, feeding value and protein. But actually, we know that a tool can be developed because cattle producers have access to a tool that they can use to optimize grazing management. And this tool can predict the quality of the grass. So what we want to do in the Living Lab is to develop a similar tool, but adjust it for pigs. And we cannot use the cattle tool because pigs, they're housed in different soil types, different grass mixes.
Did you hear
and
that?
The feeding value differs. Yes. Last slide, next slide. Yes. So then now in the future, the aim is to be able to include grass as part of the feeding plan for pigs, and this will benefit farm economy, lower the environmental impact of the production, and thereby improve the sustainability. And that was it. Thank you.
Right on time, 3 minutes on the dot. 3 minutes,
Perfect.
Wow. I'm impressed, Sarah Lena. Thank you for joining us. Thank you for joining us, and keep watching online if you can. Next up is my friend and partner, Mr. Koen van Wegenburg. Are you ready?
Yes, I'm ready. So I will tell you a little bit about my practice hub. It's a pig practice hub in the Netherlands, and it's called krulvarken, which means krill pig. It's a conventional type of production, but with an innovative flooring and a biodiversity focus. It consists of about 15 farms, breeding, piglet producing, and fattening. So what makes this so special? What you can see, it's an innovative housing system. So they only have a solid floor with a thick layer of bedding material where the pigs can root in. So it's very good for animal welfare. They have larger groups than legally obliged, and also a lot more space per pig. So there's a lot more social contact between pigs. So also good for animal welfare. And they have a natural light, so a lot of windows in the houses. They have a short supply chain. They sell through butchers, so they can make a little bit extra money with that, but not all the pigs they can sell. For example, they also don't do castration of male pigs, so it's rather difficult to sell those due to boar-taint problems. And they have an extra attention to biodiversity. So the solid manure that they produce is a lot better for soil quality and soil life if you apply it, and they have flower meadows, flowers in field borders, etc. On their farm. The challenges, probably not unfamiliar here, how to make money with this concept, because it's more expensive. So, and they have two major things. One is the pigs themselves, but also the manure, because now they sell that as normal slurry, but it's a lot better quality. So they have those two major challenges, next to a lot of other challenges, but these are the major ones. So what is unique? Well, krulvarken is unique, as I explained, because it's a lot more sustainable in the Dutch context, of course. We don't have that much land, so we cannot do all the pigs outside. It requires all those measures, but that results in a higher cost price. So for a long-term viability of such concept, how can we make these extra costs? Where do we get this? How can we define a market? Where can we find this market? So this is also the aim of our living lab, is to develop this market using the unique selling points that this system has. Can we go then to butchers that we already have, but can we also learn from that and find new butchers and other markets? And we just sent in this application, so hopefully it is approved and we can start when it's approved. Thanks.
Finito.
Finito.
Well done, Koen. Well done, Mr. Koen. Another online colleague signing in right now, hopefully. Lizzie Rowe. Hello, Miss Lizzie.
Hi, can you hear me?
Are you ready?
I can't stand that my face is so big on this massive screen. I'm so sorry, everyone. What a nightmare.
You look fine. You look great. Here come the slides. Don't worry.
I'm ready. Thank you.
There they are. Okay, you ready to go? Go.
Okay, yes. So I'm presenting to you Practice Hub number 9, which is our UK-based practice hub. So the farmers are based in the south of England and Wales, and they're all practicing 100% pasture-fed beef systems, utilising holistic planned grazing management. We have 15 farmers in the practice hub, a third of them are female, and they come with a huge range of backgrounds. So next slide to the innovation, please. So this practice hub is innovative. It's the OECD area of innovation is production techniques. It's a niche system, and the innovation that they're based around is having beef from cattle, producing beef from cattle fed only on fresh or conserved pasture. And we use the word pasture rather than grass because these pastures are more species rich than just grass. And they, many of them are using holistic planned grazing, which is better for the land, for the animals, and for the farmers. So next slide, on to challenges, please. So I think the main challenges faced by this practice hub are the dwindling number of small abattoirs in the UK that can accommodate them with their small number of beef cattle that they are slaughtering every year. competing with cheaply produced food that doesn't account for the true cost of the production of that food in terms of environmental impact. And then also crucially, consumer education on the benefits of 100% pasture-fed beef production, and especially discriminating with grass-fed beef, which is something that's very different and that is sometimes used in marketing for conventionally produced beef. Okay, so the uniqueness slide, please. This practice hub is, they're all members of a unique organisation called Pasture for Life, which is a diverse movement from farmers to academics, all working together to champion a better way of farming for regenerating life. Also, the farmers bring a huge range of backgrounds with them. A lot of them are first-generation farmers, so they have had previous careers, which helps them to bring novel thinking and innovation into their approaches. And also that we have a lot of female farmers, so the majority of farmers in the UK are male. So the fact that we've got a third female farmers in our practice hub is really great and unique. Last slide, please. So what we're working on now and into the future is our living lab, which has been approved. This is looking at the nutrient density of 100% pasture-fed beef compared to conventional beef. So the aim is to test for empirical evidence of improved nutritional density of 100% pasture-fed beef compared to conventional beef. And the rationale for this is to look for evidence for the improved nutritional quality, which could encourage more consumers to eat 100% pasture-fed beef and more producers to produce it, and to focus on food in terms of yields, in terms of nutrient density, rather than mass or calories produced. And that's it. Thank you so much.
Wow. Wow, 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 wow. Well done, Lizzie. 2 minutes and 59 seconds and 87 decimal points. Wow. Right, that's well planned. Okay, next up, Anna Jameson. Here you go. Over to you.
So this is hi. I'm Anna Jameson. I am I run an NGO called the Swedish Pasture Beef and Lamb Association, and we are the industry partner, and I am also facilitating this hub. So this slide shows Sweden, and this shows who we are and what we are, because Sweden is 70% forest. It's 8% arable crops, about 20% lakes, and in between the forest, the arable, and the water, and the long sea coast is the semi-natural pastures. And on those semi-natural pastures, we produce, these pastures are actually produced or made by humans and cattle together. And this is why we need cattle or sheep to maintain these things. So we actually produce not only top quality beef, but also biodiversity, which is pretty unique. And the message we are sending out is, it's not the cow, it's the how, as somebody said already this morning. There's nothing wrong with cattle, it's the way we use them in some countries that's the problem. So, what is unique with us? Well, we are actually here to tell a success story. We are here to share the fact that you can create a label that makes a change in the production model. After 25 years of working with this, actually it's true, we have now a third-party certification system. We have the second largest supermarket selling it since 4 years back. It's a roaring success, and it's creating a really high demand and pressure to find more farmers who will farm in this way. What did it take to succeed? Because I'm sure many of you would like to do the same. Well, credibility, which we found on our third-party certification scheme, endurance, time and timing, had to be the right timing, and also sustainable economy for everybody. And we found this by, I learned a new word, de-risking something. The supermarket chain was willing to take the risk and carry the cost for a number of years before this turned profitable for them. That was important. And yes, there's been Project Oil money going into this in the shape of me mainly, helping everywhere and doing what I can. Challenges is actually one of the things we're trying to fix. Extreme weather conditions. Tough economy, because food and grazing is difficult when it's dry or flooded. We have tough economy for both farmers and the consumers, and because this is a high-range product, if money is short, it might be difficult to sell it. But we do have an increased interest, which is really fantastic. So this brings us to our living lab, which is to extend the grazing period, and in Swedish conditions, that's not easy. So this is what we will be working on. Thank you.
That's it? Okay. I thought you were just getting started there, Anna. So.
I was. Didn't have any more time.
Okay. Mr. Piotr Jurga, your turn.
Start? Yeah. Go ahead. Okay, hello, nice to meet you. It's great to be here with you. So I would like to introduce the practice hub number 12, which is the Agri-tech Poultry Innovation for Improved Food Safety and Quality. Today with me it's Robert, also who will facilitate the hub. And what I would like to say to you that based on the willingness of the cooperation, the innovativeness of the production, and also the business model type, we chose 12 farms from a wide range of the poultry producers in Poland. As you know, Poland is the biggest producer of poultry in Europe. And also we propose some innovation which belongs to the area of the ICT technologies and also big data. So we would like to introduce the traceability tool to meet the compliance requirements demanded by the market, also to increase the trust of the consumers, also to improve the food safety and quality, to authenticate somehow the sustainability and the animal welfare of the production of poultry in Poland, and also finally to optimize the distribution. Our main focus groups are the poultry producers, food distributors, consumers, of course, which was said that is very important in the morning, and the administration who can also help us to put our innovation in a grid, in a national system. So our innovation can help to face the challenges like food and nutrition security, also advise how to reduce the greenhouse emission and resources used in the production in the poultry farm, but also in the whole value chain. Of course, needs of the cooperation, as you see on the slide, is double, so it's very important. Also, how to label the products. As you know, we face some difficulties with the products who comes, for example, from the import, and also the increased level of the education and transfer knowledge, which is very important. Why our hub is unique? Because it can help the farmers and also whole value chain, and it has never been applied in the poultry sector in Central Europe and Eastern countries, and also in the whole value chain. But even if there are some solutions similar in the Western Europe, it still can be a very good base for a comparison for the exchange of the knowledge. As you see on the slide, we have a very good plan. I will not read what are the steps of the plan, but you can trust us that this innovation can help the poultry sector and also the related activities. Thank you for your attention.
Thank you, Piotr, right on time. Vincent Blazy, your turn to shine.
Okay. Hi, everyone. In order to introduce the 13 practice hubs, just to remember, this is a practice hub located in France, in high animal density territory, and it's really 300 farmers who are actually engaged in these practice hubs. So a few decades ago, they choose to, in order to manage nitrogen flow, they choose to collect all the manure in the area and to transform it in compost in order to export it and all the nitrogen flow. This is a way for them to maintain their activity in this territory. So in these practice hubs, the farmers organize themselves years after years in order to select the better litter in order to have the best compost at the end. And during this process, they shown many aspects, especially due to the selection of the litter co-benefits, including on welfare animal, and they want to assess also the impact of the composting process of soils. So during the living lab, we choose to have a the farmers choose to face up to the litter choice, and when you select a litter, you have several issues to face up, like the welfare, the environmental, the economic, and the sanitary aspects. They would like to try a new kind of litter, which is a mix of dolomite, a natural mineral rich in magnesium and calcium, with wood shavings. And this kind of litter is already used in ruminant production, and they have excellent feedback, and they want to adopt it in poultry production. Currently, we are engaged in this way, and we would like to find a farmer where we can have multi-criteria analysis of this new litter. And in the spirit of the practice hubs, they say this is a service designed by farmers for farmers in an integrated solutions. If the litter is a success, they would like to promote it to all the 300 farmers engaged in the practice hubs. That's all.
Well done, very succinct. Now, closed-looped egg production with Noah van Luyven. Ta-da!
Thank you. Hello everybody, my name is Noah van Luyven and I'm from Practice Hub 14. I'm from Erasmus University of Applied Sciences and we are located in the Netherlands, and we have a practice hub with innovative poultry farmers. We want to tackle two problems, and the first problem is about food waste. It's a very detailed graph, but the only thing you need to know is that there is a lot of food waste which is coming from primary production, processing, manufacturing, households and retail. And when looking at the Netherlands, the primary source of food waste is the first one, which was the primary production, food processing and manufacturing. The second problem that we want to tackle is with regard to animal welfare. NGOs and general public demand good animal welfare in which poultry can show their natural behaviors, for example, foraging behavior. And we want to combine these two problems in our solution. So we would like to use the food waste, which could be trimmings of, for example, carrots, but also carrots that aren't suitable for human consumption. And we want to give these food waste to the poultry. And the poultry can use this food waste as environmental enrichment to show their natural behavior. We want to do this by forming local communities between arable farmers and poultry farmers. So we want to bring them together. And as you can see, the poultry really like these vegetables. So what do we want to do? What do the farmers need? Well, they need an overview. For example, apples are harvested in autumn and tomatoes are harvested in spring. Carrots are harvested in summer. So they really need to know when they need to contact what farmer, so they can strategically connect to these farmers. For example, poultry farmer Dubois, the green one, has to contact farmer Jackson in February, but he needs to contact farmer Paulos in May, as you can see in this scheme. So we really would like to create this overview. The uniqueness of this project is that it is not unique at all. It is requested locally by the members of our practice hub, but it's really adjustable to, for example, other species, but also other countries, to form these local communities and getting to know how to form these local communities. Our project has the potential to elevate environmental sustainability and also to pave a way to better and a more resilient poultry industry. And that's the slide I would like to conclude my slideshow with. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Wow, I'm impressed.
Oh, thanks.
I'm impressed. That was a very well curated and timed presentation, if no one can. Okay, next up is this is the finale. It's a double whammy, back-to-back, David in action. Are you ready? Which one's going to be better?
Two of them.
Both? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, take it.
Yeah, in Pathways we leave the most exciting part for the end. So I'm presenting the last two practice hubs, the first one with sheep and the second one with goats. So in the first one, We're working on sheep farms with different input levels in the Mediterranean Dehesa ecosystem, and I will show some photos in a minute. But of the Dehesa, we work with a partner in Pathways, Cor Sevilla, which is a large cooperative of 200 farmers, organic and non-organic, that operate in the southwest of Spain and part in Portugal, in this Mediterranean Dehesa ecosystem, which it is linked to very high seasonal constraints, very dry summers, very somehow cold winters, but torrential rain. So it's very harsh environment, but a beautiful ecosystem that have difficulties to achieve efficiency because of those constraints. In an initial work in this practice hub, together with the farmers, we identified that regardless of the input levels, especially feeding inputs, the factor that determined the sustainability the most was having unproductive periods, mainly associated to the digestive and respiratory disorders. And this is where the innovation comes into the story. What we want to do in the Living Lab link to this practice hub is to test a range of different natural feed additives, so feed additives from plant extracts that can partly replace antibiotics and considerstacts that are normally used in this area in different periods of the year, because the lambing period is very different in the winter and in the summer, and see how that can improve the overall efficiency of the system. So the main driver here is as I said, the efficiency that is constrained by seasonal and the climatology of the area, and the big challenge is to try to overcome these unproductive losses due to health problems in a range of different farms. So the uniqueness is basically trying to reduce the use of conventional antimicrobials, which is still high in this area, but using feed additives based in plant extracts adapted to the conditions that we have in this ecosystem, because the lambing period in the winter and the summer of spring are very different. Then the management has to be also adapted in relation to the mothers and to the lambs. So the two positive outcomes that we're expecting to have is, of course, an improvement of the overall efficiency, but also animal welfare and carbon footprint of the systems, and hopefully reduce the use of antimicrobials in the food chain. So that's the first one. And okay. So we changed now to goats, and this is another practice hub that we run in collaboration with the breeding association of the Murciano-Granadina dairy goat, which operates in the whole country, and is the largest dairy goat breed in Spain, and one of the most important in Europe, and it's about using a precision livestock farming tool that have been being used for a while now by these farmers, collecting data from individual animals to produce information for the farmers, feedback in terms of duration of the lactation, insemination periods, what animals keep for replacement, etc. What we're interested to do here is to add a new element to this precision livestock farming tool, which is related to animal welfare in this dairy goats system. So this tool has been used for nearly 10 years now. It was actually first developed as part of a European project, Ice Age, and Georgios is here, was the coordinator of that project. So the challenges that we have here is the heterogeneity of the variety of level of implementation of this tool and the technology in different farms. And the other one is related to the climatology. So the heat waves that we are experiencing in southern Spain, the frequency of these heat waves is increasing due to climate change, and that has an enormous impact on milk production. So the uniqueness of this Living Lab coming from the Practice Hub is first is to combine different sources of information that it makes it challenging but quite interesting at the same time. So we're using the tool, what is called Rumia. So all the information that this tool provides will be used in the Practice Hub. Then we will conduct, or we're actually conducting animal welfare assessments in some of the farms that has been developed. This assessment in the project in Pathways, specific for dairy goats. in the farms that we are working, we also have records of weather conditions, so we can link all the things to those conditions. And one of the novel things probably is that the use of collars that have been specifically developed for dairy goats to monitor the individual behavior in relation to different heat stress events. And that will be also linked to the information that we are collecting from the other sources. So hopefully we can, we expect to improve the tool that is already being used, but in terms of providing recommendations in terms of animal welfare for these production systems. So thank you very much.